Hey there YouTube, it's RoseyLikeMe here, and today we are going to answer the question, how the hell do we get the button text to change if we hover over it? Yeah, I basically only knew HTML and CSS, but now I know the basic stuff of JavaScript. So let's learn how to change our button text if we hover over it. Okay, let's do it. Well, you might be asking, well, Rosalie, what do you mean by change the text when I hover over it? So, you see when I hover over these, it like highlights, right? But the text is still the same. Instagram is still the same as Instagram if I hover over it. However, if we hover over YouTube, it changes the text to subscribe, which is something you should do right now. Or after I teach you. Anyways, so yeah, how do we do that? Let me show you. So to get started, let's go ahead and create our first JavaScript folder. I named mine's JS. Within this folder, go ahead and create your own JavaScript file. Your very first, or maybe not, I named mine's myscript.js. Now this JavaScript file is going to hold all of our functions that we need. However, we can type all of the functions we want, but it's not going to be linked. So in order to link that, we're going to create a new element called script, and then type source src equals and path that to our myscript.js. So for mine, since I have a JavaScript folder, we do js/myscript.js. Now that we've went ahead and linked our JavaScript file to our HTML file, let's create our first function. In order to do that, all you need to do is type in function, space, and then enter your function name, parentheses, and squirrely brackets. In this case, I named my function name subscribe. Okay, within the curly brackets is going to be everything you want this function to execute when called upon. So we're going to type in document.getElementID. You can also do getElement by like class, etc. But in this case, YouTube is special and we only want YouTube to change the text. So we do getElementID, parentheses, quotation marks, YouTube. And then type .innerHTML equals, and then quotation marks. Within these quotation marks are the text that you want the button to change to. In this case, it's subscribe. So now if we go ahead and look at our actual page, nothing actually changes. Now, the reason for this is we haven't called upon this action within our button class. So in order to do that, we're going to go within the button class, type in on mouse over equals parentheses, and then type in your function name. In this case, my function name is called subscribe, so I shall change mine to subscribe. Now, when we go ahead and go back to our page, it now says subscribe. However, when we take our mouse off of it, it still stays the same as subscribe. So, in order to fix that, we're going to need to create another function. So let's go back into our JavaScript file, copy and paste our function subscribe, and all we're going to need to do is change the function name from subscribe to another function name. In this case, I named mine's YouTube, because that's what we're changing the text back to. So let's go ahead and change subscribe text back to YouTube, and if we go ahead and go back to our page, do you think it'll change? Yes or no? If you answered no, well, then you are correct. Now, the reason for this is because we didn't call upon our function. So let's go ahead and go back to our HTML file, go inside of the button element and type in on mouse leave equals, and then call upon our function YouTube. So if we go back, now if we hover over it, it says subscribe. If we hover out, it goes back to YouTube. Now, I think I've messed something up, so I went ahead and changed up that T to capital T, and now everything is consistent and everything works well. All right, you've practically become a pro at JavaScript, or at least scratch the very basics of JavaScript. You can actually go ahead and change the header to red if you hover over it, but I encourage you to go ahead and practice around and see what else you can do with JavaScript. With that being said, Rosaline Gaboon out! So did you subscribe? Did you learn anything? If you did learn something, you should subscribe. Hit that like button, comment where you are in your learning journey. Help me reach the goal of 600 subscribers. Okay, bye.